Hey folks, I'm Eli Apd and today we're bottling our elderflower champagne. Let's go! So today we're going to bottle the elderflower champagne we made a couple of weeks ago. It's been fermenting away in a cupboard nicely and it's time to get it in the bottle. Now, I spoke last time about how you can tell what percentage your champagne's going to be. I know this is going to be about 8.5%, but what I'll do at the end of this video, I'll do a little bit showing you just how you can work that out for yourself. But for just now, I'm going to show you just how I get round to bottling this. Now, safety again, we spoke about this before. Today's safety tip is about the bottles you use. Do not, please don't just use any old bottle to bottle your champagne. You know, you get lots of really nice bottles in places like IKEA, nice flip tops and what have you, but the glass that they're made of is not as thick as the glass in a champagne or a cava bottle. It's much thicker, and the reason for that is that you actually make this fizzier than you would a normal beverage like a beer, and so the bottle needs to be a lot stronger to hold that. And we spoke before about bottle bombs. We don't want your bottles of champagne exploding and being dangerous. So please collect as many bottles as you can. Okay, so it's a hard task this. It's a really hard life. Drink lots of champagne and cava to collect your bottles. Get your friends to do the same. Or you can buy these bottles, just empty plain champagne bottles from your local homebrew store or your online homebrew store. They're not overly expensive. But in the home brewing kind of community, we do say that it's a sin to buy an empty bottle, because what a waste. You should buy the bottle full and enjoy it and then wash it and keep it. So please make sure it's proper champagne bottles you're using, because they're much thicker and much stronger. The other tip I taught you last time, sanitize, sanitize, sanitize. I cannot emphasize this enough. It's super important. So all of my bottles have been thoroughly cleaned and have been sanitised. My corks I'm going to use have been cleaned and sanitised. And depending on how you're going to put this into the bottle, make sure whatever tools you use, again, cleaned and sanitised, people. This is important, I can't say it enough. So, shall I show you how I put my elderflower champagne into the bottle and cork it all up? Let's have a look. So the first thing we have to do then is we have to give the yeast something to eat so that it will create CO2. To do this, we add sugar to the bottles. For each 750 millilitre champagne bottle, I am adding 2 level teaspoons of sugar. It's easy to do this just using a funnel and a teaspoon. The first thing is, as I said last time round, I've got a lot of homebrew equipment, so I have one of these. This is just a little siphon that you can use to get the champagne out of your bucket and into your bottle nice and neatly. Notice I took it out of that liquid. It's been sanitised, but don't panic if you don't have something like this. You can easily use a jug and a funnel. It maybe doesn't look as fancy, but it does the job, so don't worry about this. Okay, so how do we do this? Dead simple. For me, this clips into the bucket and it lets me use this end to pour my champagne. Well, at the minute it's wine. When it gets fizzy, it'll be champagne. But pour it into the bottle. I just do this, and there's a tap on the end so I can start and stop it. So let's go. So you can see there, that's it going in. Now here's a helpful tip for you. When you're filling your bottle, you want enough space for all the CO2 to form, and it needs to have a bit of space in what we call the head area for it to sit. Okay, so you want to fill your bottle until it's about to the shoulder, so you're giving yourself about 3 inches from the top. Don't fill it any fuller than that or you'll risk it popping the cork. So hopefully you can see, but this is it going nicely. Ready to stop. And there we go, that's that bottle done. I was telling you how much easier this thing makes it, but like I say, if you have a jug and a funnel, then it'll do the job for you. So let's get a cork in this one. Do is force the cork into the bottle. It's not easy to do this. Okay, once the cork is all the way down, you use your cage, and a handy implement to twist can be a chopstick, a Bic pen, whatever, and you put it through the wire and you twist so it holds in place. And all the bottles have this little ridge and the wire goes under there. That's what it's for. So there we go. 10 green bottles of lovely elderflower champagne. What we do now is we put this away, an airing closet, somewhere dark and warm, again kind of room temperature, and we leave that for 3 or 4 weeks or more. The longer you leave it, the better the finished product is. But what we're wanting to happen now is all that yeast that's still in there is going to eat the 2 teaspoons of sugar we put in each bottle, and that'll eat it and it'll produce CO2. And what will happen is, because this is a pressurised container, there's nowhere for the CO2 to escape to, it will be absorbed into the liquid. And that's why I spoke about using these really good quality heavy bottles, because that creates a pressure, and that pressure is what forces that CO2 into the liquid, and it's what makes your champagne fizzy. So put them away for a few weeks, let them do their thing, and come this summer you should have lovely elderflower champagne for the garden. I'm enjoying the very last glass of last year's, and I can't wait for this year's to be ready. So I'll say cheers for those of you who've had enough, and I'll take the rest of you through how you work out what percentage your champagne is. Oh, it's delicious. So I promised I'd show you how to work out the alcohol percentage of your elderflower champagne, and it's really quite simple. So you remember I told you when we made the champagne and I said I took a reading? Okay, so my reading was 1075, that was my specific gravity. So I've just taken a reading of the champagne before we bottled it there, and it's 998. So what you do is you take your final reading from your first reading. So for me that gives me 77, and then you divide that by 7.4. So 77 divided by 7.4 gives me an alcohol percentage of about 10.4%. It's that simple. So I hope you really enjoyed making elderflower champagne with me. I'll try and do more videos like this, but let me know if you liked the video. Give me a thumbs up, let me know you liked it. Feel free to put some comments down below, have a chat with me, ask me any questions you have. More than happy to have a chat with anyone, because I've been doing this a long time and I learn from other people. So I really appreciate when you've got questions, it's much easier to ask someone who already knows. But hope you had fun, and I'll see you next time. If you want, I'll shove some extra videos along the side, and that way if there's anything you're interested in, maybe trying a beer next time, there's some stuff there for you to watch. See you later, guys.